Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you today about a truth, a hard one. One that doesn't always feel good, but if you let it in, if you really understand it, it can change your life. There's a harsh truth in life that many people never come to terms with. Life does not respond to how you feel, it responds to what you do. You can be in pain, you can be struggling, you can be overwhelmed with frustration or sorrow, but none of those emotions will change your circumstances until they are converted into action. Life isn't moved by tears. It doesn't reward pity. It rewards movement, decisions, and effort. We live in a world that listens very politely when we complain, but rarely does anything about it. You could stand in front of a crowd and tell them your whole story, how hard it's been, how unfair life is, how many obstacles you've had to overcome, and some people might even applaud your honesty. But when it's over, the lights dim, and everyone returns to their own lives, the truth sets in. Your story might be moving, but only your actions can move you forward. Emotion, on its own, is not a strategy. Feeling sorry for yourself won't pay the rent. Being angry at your situation won't earn you respect. Wishing things were easier won't get you stronger. If anything, emotion without action becomes a trap. It convinces you that venting is progress, that talking about the struggle is the same as overcoming it, but the world doesn't bend for your moods. It bends, slowly and surely, for your habits, for your grind. Effort, even when it's small and unrecognized, creates results. You don't have to feel amazing to make progress, you just have to show up. Some of the most powerful days in your life will be the ones where you felt the least motivated, but chose to act anyway. That's the kind of effort that builds character. That's the kind of effort life respects. Think of a garden. You can cry over the soil. You can yell at the sky for the drought. You can sit and mourn the seeds that didn't sprout. But none of that changes the outcome. The garden grows when you water it, when you pull the weeds, when you tend to it daily. That's how results are created, with consistent, committed effort. You see, emotion is a signal. It tells you something needs attention. But action is the solution. If you feel stuck, the answer is not to feel more deeply, it's to move. Make a plan, do one small thing. Pick up the phone, go to the gym, study the skill, apply for the job. Write the page, take the step. Action turns feelings into momentum. It transforms pain into progress. We all have moments when we want to give in, when it feels like nothing is working, when it feels like nobody sees the battle we're fighting. But that's when you must remember, this is not about being seen. This is about becoming the person who refuses to let emotion write the ending, becoming the person who works in silence and lets the results do the talking. Becoming the person who knows the truth. Life does not care how you feel, it cares how you show up. You can have the most heartbreaking story in the room, but if someone with less experience and more drive outworks you, they'll go further. That's not unfair, it's reality, and once you understand that, you stop waiting for life to feel sorry for you. You stop waiting for the right mood, the right conditions, the perfect timing. You just start. And starting, even imperfectly, always beats standing still. So, let your emotions inform you, but let your effort define you. Let your pain teach you, but let your actions lift you. The world honors the people who keep going, not because it was easy, not because they were never afraid, but because they chose to keep showing up. Every single day. At some point in your journey, you will have to face the truth that nobody is coming to save you. It might sound cold, maybe even discouraging at first, but it is one of the most liberating truths you will ever accept. You are responsible for your life. Not your parents, not your boss, not the government, not your partner, not your friends, you. Every choice, every reaction, every path you take, it all adds up to one thing, the life you're living right now. And while you may not be at fault for everything that's happened to you, you are still responsible for what you do next. Taking responsibility doesn't mean blaming yourself for every bad thing that's occurred. It means recognizing that your future is yours to shape. Life will hand you unfairness. People will disappoint you. Circumstances will break your heart, but the question is always the same: what will you do about it? Because life doesn't stop because you were wronged. It doesn't rewind to fix what hurt you. It simply moves forward. And so must you. Many people live in a state of quiet resentment, waiting for someone to fix their pain, waiting for an apology that never comes, waiting for the world to finally treat them right. But life has no obligation to be fair. It only reflects what you put into it. Waiting puts your power in someone else's hands. Responsibility takes it back. The moment you say, "It's on me," you stop waiting and start building. You stop blaming and start becoming. The most powerful shift you can make is when you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What can I learn from this? What can I do now?" That's the voice of personal responsibility. That's the mindset of growth. Because when you decide to take ownership of your life, you take ownership of your future. You begin to realize that excuses might win sympathy, but responsibility wins results. Taking responsibility means owning your decisions. Every day, you're making choices. What time you wake up, how you treat your body, whether you pursue growth or comfort, whether you take action or stay idle. It's easy to blame others for where you are, but the truth is, habits determine direction. And while you may not control every event, you absolutely control your response. That response, those choices shape your destiny. The world doesn't reward the victim mindset. It rewards the builder, the one who takes what they have and does something with it. And it doesn't take perfection, just effort, just ownership, just the daily decision to show up and do your part. If you're waiting for someone to believe in you more than you believe in yourself, you'll be waiting forever. Your life will not change until you accept that it is yours to change. Yes, there are people who have it easier. Yes, some are born with advantages you didn't get. But fairness was never the promise. Growth is. And growth is available to anyone who chooses it, regardless of where they start. Your past may not be your fault, but your future is your responsibility. Let that truth empower you, because if your life is in your hands, then so is your transformation. So the next time you feel like blaming, stop. The next time you feel like waiting for someone else to take the lead, remember, this is your story. You are the author. You decide what comes next. Take responsibility not as a burden, but as a gift. Because the moment you claim responsibility is the moment you claim your power. No one can live your life for you. No one can do your work, walk your path, or fulfill your potential. That is yours and yours alone. And when you fully accept that, when you embrace the responsibility, you begin to live not as a victim of your story, but as the author of your comeback. Success is not something you chase. It's something that is drawn to you through your growth, your development, and the transformation of your character. The world doesn't reward people just because they want success or because they wish for it. It rewards people who consistently evolve into the best version of themselves, the ones who outgrow their limits, break their boundaries, and improve their mindset. Think about it. Success isn't a destination that you simply arrive at. It's a process of becoming. Every step you take, every new skill you develop, every challenge you overcome is part of this process of personal growth that makes you a magnet for success. When you grow, success finds you. When you stagnate, it moves on. The key is to stop thinking of success as an external prize and start seeing it as a natural byproduct of who you become. If you want to attract more success into your life, you need to focus on becoming the person who is worthy of it. Success doesn't come to the person who waits for the perfect opportunity. It comes to the one who creates those opportunities through continuous learning and growth. It's about showing up, pushing yourself to be better than you were yesterday, and committing to the process, not just the result. Every time you push yourself outside of your comfort zone, you're growing. Every time you learn something new, you're growing. Every time you fail and get back up, you're growing, and growth by nature attracts success. But success doesn't come to those who are only focused on the end goal. It comes to those who embrace the journey, those who understand that every day they are learning, adapting, and improving. The key to success is to focus on becoming a person of value. What you bring to the table, your skills, your perspective, your ability to solve problems is what determines how successful you become. People are drawn to those who have something to offer, and the more you grow, the more you have to offer. It's about becoming someone who can make a difference, who can inspire others, who can solve problems and create solutions. Success isn't about doing things perfectly. It's about doing things with the best you have and constantly improving upon that. We often hear stories of overnight success, but those are usually just moments that appear to have arrived without effort. Behind those stories are years of hard work, learning, and growth. The successful person you see didn't start out successful, they grew into it. They grew their skills, their mindset, their discipline, and their resilience. Success wasn't just handed to them, it was attracted to them by their consistent and purposeful growth. People who experience true success don't focus on chasing it. They focus on becoming better at what they do, and in doing so, success naturally gravitates toward them. They understand that success is a reflection of who they are, not just what they do. It's not enough to be talented. You need to be consistent. It's not enough to have potential. You need to put in the effort. Growth comes from doing the work day in and day out, and success is drawn to that work ethic. In the process of growth, you'll face challenges, setbacks, and failures. But those things don't define you. How you respond to them does. When you grow through adversity, success sees that and takes note. People who succeed don't see failure as something to avoid, they see it as something to learn from. Every failure is an opportunity to grow, to improve, and to get closer to the person you need to be to attract the success you desire. Attracting success isn't about waiting for the right moment to act. It's about taking action now, with the understanding that growth is what will bring you closer to your goals. So, focus less on the outcome and more on who you need to become to deserve the success you want. Success isn't something you get. It's something you become worthy of through continuous growth, discipline, and action. In the end, success is not an event, it's a process, a journey, and an attraction that you draw to yourself through your commitment to growth. The more you develop yourself, the more success will follow. So, invest in yourself. Never stop growing. Become the person who attracts success, and watch it unfold before you, not as a distant dream, but as a natural consequence of who you are becoming. The truth is, you don't need permission to start. You don't need to wait for the perfect time, for someone to believe in you, or for the world to recognize your potential. If you are waiting for the right moment, the stars to align, or a crowd to cheer you on, you will be waiting forever. The world won't give you the green light, you have to give it to yourself. The only thing standing between you and your success is the willingness to start. Many people hold themselves back because they feel they need support, approval, or validation from others. They feel that they need someone to say, "Yes, this is a great idea," or "I believe in you." But the harsh reality is, support is often a luxury you don't have at the beginning of your journey. Most successful people didn't start with a cheering section. They started alone, with doubts, with uncertainty, but most importantly, they started anyway. Waiting for someone else to validate your path is a trap. The road to success is rarely clear, and no one will ever be able to show you exactly where to go or how long it will take. The only way to find that path is by walking it. Every step you take, even if it's small, builds momentum, And that momentum will attract the support you're seeking, not the other way around. You don't need a guarantee that you'll succeed. Nobody can guarantee success in anything. If you're looking for certainty, you'll be disappointed. The only certainty in life is that you'll face challenges. There will be obstacles, setbacks, and moments of doubt. But that's all part of the process. Success is not the absence of failure. It's the ability to keep going despite it. It's the willingness to act even when things aren't perfect, when you don't feel ready, and when no one is watching. Think of all the inventions, businesses, and artistic masterpieces that would never have existed if their creators had waited for someone to believe in them first. The Wright brothers didn't wait for the aviation industry to tell them it was a good idea to build a flying machine. Steve Jobs didn't wait for the technology community to tell him there was a market for a personal computer. No one told Oprah Winfrey she was destined for greatness. She had to believe it first and start on her journey. You see, the world isn't going to tell you when you're ready. It's not going to hand you a blueprint for success, nor is it going to give you a checklist of the right people to connect with. You will figure that all out as you move forward. The support you're looking for will come, but it will come when you show the world you're serious, when you prove that you're willing to do the work regardless of who is watching. This is the beauty of starting before you feel ready. You create your own opportunities. You build your own momentum. You force the world to pay attention. People are drawn to those who take action, who make things happen, who don't wait for permission. The more you move, the more people will be inspired by your courage, and the more support will show up along the way. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't seek advice, mentorship, or guidance. Those things are important, but you don't need them to get started. In fact, sometimes the best way to learn is by jumping in and figuring things out on the fly. You'll make mistakes, you'll stumble, but every failure is an opportunity to grow, to adapt, and to refine your approach. It's in the doing that the lessons are learned. It's in the action that the breakthroughs occur. The real challenge isn't whether or not you can succeed, it's whether or not you're willing to start. When you take the first step, you signal to yourself that you're committed to the journey, regardless of how difficult it may seem. Starting is the hardest part, but once you start, the world will begin to open up. Opportunities will present themselves in ways you never expected. And along the way, you'll discover strengths, skills, and insights that would have never been uncovered if you had stayed on the sidelines, waiting for support. So, stop waiting for someone else to believe in you. Stop waiting for the right time to arrive. The only right time is now. Start anyway. Even if you don't have everything figured out, even if you're unsure of your next step, start. The journey will clarify itself as you move forward. You'll gather the support you need not by asking for it, but by proving you're worth supporting. In conclusion, remember this: success is not a waiting game. It's a game of action, of courage, and of relentless commitment. While others wait for permission, for the perfect conditions, or for someone to come along and make things easier, the truly successful people are the ones who get to work despite the doubts, despite the obstacles, and despite the silence from the sidelines. You have everything within you to start today. No more waiting, no more asking for permission. Take the first step, build momentum, do the work. Let your growth attract the support and success you deserve. You may not have all the answers right now, and that's okay. The answers will come through the process, but you'll never know what's possible if you keep waiting for things to be perfect. Start anyway. Trust yourself, trust the journey, and watch how your life begins to change. The world is full of opportunities, but it's up to you to show up. Take action and seize them. Thank you.